everyone, today I'm going to do this fall inspired look. I first start out using Wednesday from the Jeffree Cremated Palette, and I take it with a fluffier blending brush and I'm putting it all in my crease area to really help make the transitions from the colors that I'm going to use blend a little bit easier. I will be using some greens and like reddish purplish tones in this look, hence why it's kind of fall inspired, as well as this was also around the time of Halloween, so I am wearing like a bones shirt. It's kind of has it's a little skeleton all over it. I know this video is a little bit late for that, but I'm just now getting to edit it, so I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm really taking this gray color and really just making sure I get it all in my crease area to help blend everything else out later. This look I kind of attempted once and now I'm recreating it. This is my third time actually recreating it. I had some issues and I kind of tweaked it a little bit more the first handful of times. And later in the video I also use a Pixi eyeliner, and I'm kind of doing a review of that as well. That was something I incorporated into it. So now I'm taking Not a Fact from the Jeffree and Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette, and I use a little bit more of a denser blending brush, and I'm putting that more right in my crease area over top of where Wednesday went, but keeping that a little bit not as diffused out. I want this color to be more of the main color that I have going on. Now watching this, I wish I would have blended it a little bit more, but I still like this a lot. This is probably a look I'd wear more often than not. And I'm also pulling it down in like the outer V part of my eye as well. So kind of deepening that little outer corner of my lid and taking it into the crease. And I took this far into the inner corner part too. Now I just took the brush I used for Wednesday and I'm buffing out those edges where Not a Fact blends in with Wednesday, just to really make sure everything, you gotta do it in layers, right? I also had primed my lids and I think that I used Wealth. So now I took Not a Fact again with that same more dense fluffy blending brush, and I was darkening that outer V even more. And now I'm taking a bit of Inheritance on top of that outer V area to kind of darken it a little bit. Inheritance is from the Cremated Palette from Jeffree, and I'm just still using that same dense brush that I used Not a Fact with. And it's like a brownie gray, like a bray, if you will. I think that added to darkening this. So then I took the Conspiracy shade from the Shane Dawson and Jeffree palette. The Conspiracy palette, right? Yeah. It's kind of a glittery shade, so I'm pretty much taking this and patting it all over my lid with a flatter eyeshadow brush to really kind of pack it on. Sometimes with these colors I use my finger, but this time I didn't. Now I dipped back into Not a Fact real fast on that brush again, and then I took a little bit of Inheritance there too, just to dab it over top of that light green shade to make sure it's nice and deep for my eye shape. It's deep set in there, I guess I should say. So then I took Conspiracy again, and I almost did like a second layering of it, and really patting it. Where I placed Not a Fact before, I didn't want that to get messed with. So then I took Goodbye on the same flat brush, just on the other side to get like the inner corners. That's more of like a lighter glittery gray. I wanted it to kind of go a little bit lighter in my inner corners, and I'm really trying to pack that color on as well and blend it into Conspiracy. So now I'm taking the Pixi Endless Silky Pen. I do believe this color is in Pewter something. But I'm taking it on my lower waterline, and just kind of lining that area, and then I took a like a liner type of brush, and I really kind of wiggled it on top of where that was, and wiggled it into my lash line, my lower lashes, to really kind of diffuse the color out a little bit more, and then I added more. Now I'm wiggling it out. You can really like mess with it now. It's great to blend out, but it held all day. Like I at least wore this for 10 hours. Nothing went away from my eyes. It was awesome, actually. I was very impressed with it. And both eyes, it's kind of hard to tell. I was messing around with my lighting, so I think a few times I did have to go back in. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I don't all the way rub this brush on my waterline. It's more so where my waterline is meeting my lash line. And then I kind of did try to smear the pencil into my lash line as well to kind of darken it. But later on, I kind of smoke it out more. And I try to keep both sides even. And as dark. Because you do have to remember, it doesn't like go less dark. I'm trying to think of the word. It doesn't really, you can move it around. It's just sometimes you have to add a little bit extra. So now I kind of took Illuminati, and that's like a darker green shade, and I'm using that same liner brush, and I'm just wiggling this into my upper lash line. Illuminati is from the Conspiracy palette. So yeah, I'm trying to just darken it up a little bit and add that extra green. You really can't even tell it's that glittery whenever I have it, or metallic I should say, in my lash line, just because it's just darkening it up ever so slightly. And I've been doing this a lot lately with either grays, browns, or even I use this green a couple times. I even put this on my lower lash line, and that worked great too. Just really trying to wiggle it in there. My eyes are kind of sensitive. I feel like other people, this might be a little bit easier to do. I've watched some people just have their eye be open and they can stick it right in. I'm not that comfortable with seeing something come right at my eye like that. But I did between a wiggling and then like a stamping movement to really get that pigment in there. So now I took Casket Ready from the Cremated Palette, and I used that on a smaller flat kind of packing brush to get in my inner corner on my upper and lower lash line to really kind of add as a nice little highlight. And I packed that in and kind of, I didn't blend it out so much, I just kind of made sure it was everywhere. I lightly took that brush and blended it, just so it wasn't like randomly on my nose and not on the other side. This is the final look after I put on a little bit of mascara. I'm blending it out just a little bit more in the outer corners. I even feel like I could have blended it slightly more, but I didn't want to lose that color of the deepness of it. If I had a darker reddish purple, that would have been better. But I just kind of really messed with the outer corners to make sure that they were deep enough and blended out on the outers. Like the outer V area, blended out enough. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and like I said, I do like that Pixi eyeliner a lot. This stayed looking like this. This picture was taken almost like an hour after I did it. And it still just stayed the same. It was great. Alright, thanks for watching.